PDF files. The answer is out there.
The Microsoft Fabric Certification Podcast with Kevin and Frank.
Episode 1. Past Perfect. The Art of Historical Data Tracking.
I have a question. You are implementing a new data warehouse solution using Microsoft Fabric. The data engineering team needs to track historical data changes accurately for reporting purposes. Implement a solution that captures changes in dimension tables over time while preserving historical data. Which type of slowly changing dimension, SCD, should you use? Select only one answer. Type 1, slowly changing dimension, SCD. B, type 2, slowly changing dimension, SCD. C, type 3, slowly changing dimension, SCDD. Type 4, slowly changing dimension, SCD.
Hey, Kevin, how are you doing?
Hey, thanks, Frank. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thank you very much. So, you heard the lady ringing in, right? So she was asking about SCD. So, first of all, could you please explain SCD? What is this anyway? And how should I think about SCD?
Yeah, sure. SCD stands for slowly changing dimensions, and this is basically a concept that's been around for many years. It can be found in a lot of older books that are being written over time as well. It basically allows you to, or can allow you to, keep track of historical changes in your dimension tables. Now, this is very important for people who are working with, for example, star schemas, for dimension modeling, working with semantic models, medallion architectures, etc.
Okay, so this was more like a technical explanation. Can you please give us some example or some use case where I would use some slowly changing dimension?
Sure. So say, for example, you have a customer that lives in one particular area, you've got their address details logged, and then they change address. It may be that you want to track which address they've had over the years for reporting and analytics requirements. Especially, for example, if they move to a completely different region, you want to make sure that you can select from a particular moment in time where they were actually living for your reports and for your analytics.
So what you mostly do in analytics is aggregates, like sums, like averages, like stuff like this. And if you don't do this, then the summarization will be not right, because the person, for example, if you sell something to the person and you would like to have your revenue on the different regions or something like this, and if you don't know that the person, before they moved to region B, they were in region A, you won't put it to region A but to region B if you have no information about that they were in region A beforehand, and then your aggregates you will do are wrong.
Exactly. So your figures would be skewed, basically. They would be technically incorrect. So that's why you would implement something like slowly changing dimensions to keep track of all these kind of different values and historical changes to your dimensions over time.
Looking at the question, so the answers are very similar, right? The only thing where the answers are distinct from each other are these different types of slowly changing dimensions. Can you please tell a little bit about this as well? So what is type 1? What is type 2? How can I make sense of it?
Yeah, sure. So type 1 is basically probably one of the ones that is common for people working with some transactional systems and stuff. You literally just overwrite the values in that complete row and you ignore it. But of course, the issue with type 1 can be the situation we just covered if somebody changed the address. Type 2, on the other hand, is where you actually create a whole new row and then effectively you mark which row was active and the timestamps of that particular moment in time. This is by far the most common one that's applied in today's industry. And to be honest with you, the fact that I'm smiling away probably gives it away the small little fact that this was actually the correct answer for this particular question. Yeah. So there you go, big spoiler, everybody. So then you've got type 3 where you add the history of the changes as a new column. But of course that can be a bit limiting and is not what's asked for this particular question. And then you have type 4, which requires a new dimension, which is not really suitable. Now, it's worth noting there are other types outside of these 4 as well. We will not go into those for the very good reason that type 2 is the most common one used in the industry. So, apart from me giving away a massive spoiler there,
Yeah, well,
we could,
obviously then answer B is the right one, right? Type 2,
Yeah.
slowly changing dimension. Okay, so if you don't know about the concept of slowly changing dimension, what we will do is we will also put some links in the show notes so you can read all about this, right? But I think as we discussed already, is a very important concept to have the right numbers, because not only the fact tables or stuff in fact tables can change over time, dimensions can as well. Think about renaming of products, for example.
exactly. So this would be a very important thing for you all to be aware of whilst you're studying for these certifications, and when you're looking to potentially apply these concepts, of course, in the real world.
Yes, exactly. Because if you're thinking about a system you build which has type 2 slowly changing dimensions, it's always superior on systems who have type 1 slowly changing dimension, which is more or less no slowly changing dimension at all, but only a dimension with values as is, right? Okay, awesome. Thank you very much for all these insights, Kevin. So I think we solved this mystery, probably, right? And so bye-bye. And always remember, the slowly changing dimension might be out there somewhere.
Yeah. Thanks. So
Okay, bye-bye.